Good evening, Madam Speaker, members of Parliament, fellow heritage friends. It's my great honor to be chosen as Right Livelihood Award. It's the first Chinese people to get that reward. By choosing us, I think you recognize our Chinese people as the great achievement in solar industry, in the promotion of energy saving and energy efficiency, and so on. In this 10 years and maybe 20 years, China has become the biggest producer and market of solar thermal, solar heating, the biggest producer of solar photovoltaic industry, and also the biggest new energy-saving buildings construction site in the world, along with its the name of most fast developing countries in the world. I'm very grateful to the foundation, to the Parliament, to our colleagues, friends, to everybody who support us in this great cause towards renewable energy world. And I'd like to be gratitude to my colleagues in International Solar Society, so who give me a lot of support and understanding. So people will wonder why I'm work so hard in promoting solar and renewable energy in worldwide. In 1981, after graduated from Petroleum University, China, I was assigned as a research fellow for oil drilling equipment. That was well paid, or that gave me a bright future. But after the birth of my daughter in 1986, I became worried, anxious, upset, and feel guilty about the next generations. Our generation grasped all the energy resources and gave out a big emission, air pollution and car emission and so on. So I cannot bear that. So I changed my major from oil into solar. But I could not finance myself because the petroleum research is funded by the government, but the solar was funded by nobody. So I must support the research in solar by myself. So I'm very grateful to my wife, to my children, to my child, to my parents, who give me a very good understand. I even made my family poverty at that time. I mean, from 87 to 95, 7 years, I spent all of my family money in study in research. So finally, I found the way out for the research. That's business, that's commercialization. And only by research cannot save the world. So only by solar cannot save the world, but solar is a very good beginning. And we have this picture shows the science, public awareness, standard making, manufacturing base, and it's the hard struggle of our people without subsidized, intensive, and good policy from the government and the society. Just the open door policy is the only strong support for our Chinese people to create many miracles in these 30 years, and solar industry is one of them. And in these 16 years, after I quit my job, I changed my career from researcher as a businessman into a businessman. These 16 years, we promote altogether 250 million square meters of solar water heaters all over China. 250 million people use the solar energy. Among them, 40% are farmers, and that's the total population, maybe around the total population of USA and maybe Europe. And I once make a joke on President Obama. If all the American promote such amount of solar energy, President Obama would win another Nobel Prize. So, but altogether, we have saved the total industry of Chinese thermal business. We have saved around 3 million tons, 300 million tons of coal, and we cut or decreased 400 million tons of emission altogether. But it's not enough. It's only less than 1% of energy consumption worldwide. It's not enough. And so we discover or create a new business model to promote not only solar thermal, but solar cooling, solar heating, solar heat process, solar drying, solar high temperature solar thermal power plant, and other application for PV, I mean photovoltaic pumps, shelter, electricity supplying, and the lamps and the solar sculpture, so-called, and other energy-saving windows, insulation layers for walls, and so on. So we combined all the geothermal, all the environment protection technology, renewable energy technology together in one cities, in one communities, to convince the people in the world that all renewable energy, all energy-saving communities, cities can be realized without subsidized, intensive, only by business approach. So, but somebody will ask, how about the price? How about the cost? That's the wrong idea. I often mention to the politicians in Western world and the medias, you have been trying your best to promote solar, renewable energy, energy saving among your countries, and you have contributed more in teacher the other world that global warming and energy crisis and so on. But you misled the world successfully to a wrong way. Everybody look forward to the support from the government, subsidize intensive, but not rely on themselves. We should learn from the conventional or mature industry like automobile industry, like IT industry. I'd like to ask a question of everybody here. Nobody, when they buy a car or iPhone, nobody will ask, is that cheaper than others? Is that, what's the benefit from buying that? What's the payback time? But when we promote solar, renewable energy, energy saving products to our customers, to everybody in Western society, in developing countries, everybody will ask the same question, same silly question. Is that cheaper than conventional energy? What's the benefit for me? I would like to ask another question. If you donate to a poor country, poor students, will you ask the same silly question, is that cheaper, or will that benefit me in the future, or what's the cost? Nobody will ask the same question. So, but the challenge faced to us, the renewable energy, the energy saving, energy efficiency product will not only benefit in the future of your family, but benefit your children's, benefit our next generations. So that's not only the question of, it's not a moral question, but it's a question of wisdom of human being. Why in these 30 years we totally lost the wisdom of face the challenge faced to our human being. You know, you create, you have some people with wisdom, just like Adam Smith with its invisible hand. But nowadays, in Copenhagen, in Durban, we all rely on government negotiation, the result of government negotiation, and the visible hand. We mislead not only the world, but ourselves. So personally, I tried my best all over the world. I traveled a lot in different parliaments, in different forums, even in UN headquarters. I told everybody that the only way out is commercialization. We must learn from automobile industry. We must learn from Apple, the corporation. We must learn from Steve Jobs. He gave us a very good lesson that if you want to promote, you want to make your product, your idea popularized all over the world, just use the business model. That's all. I hope someday Solar Valley, that's very, very beautiful scenery, People said solar is ugly. Solar or renewable energy saving lead a poor life, simple life, that will decrease your life quality, low down your life standard. That's not true. So I'd like to tell you, this really the future. Your Premier Minister Reinfeldt once met me in Nanjing, in one of my shops, one of my 10,000 shops all over China in Nanjing. He signed on advertisement picture of my solar buildings. Sun is the future. He maybe is the first premier who did advertisement for a real estate company. But I think it's a great breakthrough. Every political figures, everybody should do that, not only for others, for the human being, for themselves, for their children. So you can see so many great pictures. The renewable energy enrolls the great, huge innovativities, creativities of our people, our colleagues. You see, all of these are made of solar. Solar fountain, solar sculpture, solar lamps, solar everything. So you can see, this is our future. We call that Utopia Garden. Yeah. So you can see many swimming pools made of solar, and many energy-saving windows, solar sculpture, PV lights, everything. So I think in the future, I want to copy this Utopia Garden all over the world. I hope someday I can have a conference, have this kind of meeting in micro-emission conference center. Thank you. Gentleman is the pioneer of solar passive house 40 years ago. So